I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
No, you're not. Yeah, no, you're not.
Tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so
I'm an American
you
citizen.
have your own stakes.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that. Okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here. Okay.
But you're
a little different.
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants, settlers,
I didn't know.
colonialists.
Yeah,
you
colonials.
You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
You're
Whites
not.
are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen. Before
indigenous
America,
people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It means
sound
they
like
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just checking.
My point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are criminals.
Because you're derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
You literally sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
By that, but I'm
not offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime.
I'm always curious.
We're going to talk about immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing as bad.
Is this how you get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing.
Check out this video, then I'm going to explain to you how settler colonialism works.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely. Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different.
But you're a descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah, colonials.
You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
This idea that white folks are Native Americans now is not simply ignorance. It's the logic of settler colonialism. Settlers invade, they steal the land, and they replace the indigenous population. Settler colonialism isn't simply about conquest and stealing the land, though. It's a structure of replacement. The first step, invasion. Conquest, genocide of indigenous peoples. Step 2, reset the timeline. Pretend history only begins when settlers arrive in 1492. That means downplaying all the achievements, all the accomplishments of indigenous peoples. You stereotype and label us as uncivilized savages. Step 3, the colonizers now rebrand themselves as natives. And a lot of white folks have brainwashed themselves into believing the big lie, that they settled an empty and uncivilized land and built America from nothing. It's the myth of Western superiority and American exceptionalism. And it's not just about stealing land and resources. It's also about stealing the identity, what it means to be a real American. And this is nothing new. Settlers or nativists have been calling themselves Native Americans for nearly 200 years now. And that's the trick. You destroy indigenous sovereignty, and then you get to redefine who's truly American, who's Native. It's white nationalism. It centers whiteness as the rightful owners of Turtle Island. The end goal is always to invert reality. The settler, the colonizer becomes indigenous, and land theft and genocide becomes heritage. But here's what the logic of settler colonialism tries to hide. Indigenous nations are still here. All the settler colonial policies meant to destroy and erase indigenous nations have failed. Native peoples are revitalizing their languages, protecting their sacred sites, defending their treaty rights, practicing their culture, just like they've done since time immemorial. And let's have a little bit of clarity. White folks can be from America, be born here in America, but you will never be indigenous to this land. And let me end with this. Indigenous peoples are still here, and we're not going anywhere.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
No, you're not. Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. Stop.
In discussions about the history and origins of people in the Americas, a key distinction is that white Americans are not considered Native Americans. Here's why. Ancestry. Modern white Americans are predominantly descended from European settlers and immigrants who arrived in the Americas starting around the 5th, 10th, and 16th centuries.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, as you know, I'm your host and presenter Eugenic Stories. It is always a good time having to talk to you about all these things that are happening. There's an interesting video that I found and just want to talk about it a little. So there's this notion that when a black person does something wrong in the United States, the first thing that white people say is that you need to go back to Africa. That's where you belong. Okay, everyone came from Africa, even you as a white person. The biggest problem and the mentality that these white folks have is that they think that they are indigenous to America, that they're the first people to, occupy America's land, as Columbus told them. But that's where they go wrong, because hold on, black people were already in the America's land. Columbus himself made a fool of himself by saying when he reached the America's land, he saw black civilization. Hell yeah, he said that. At the same time, goes ahead and says that he's the first person to set foot in America's land, to mean that black people are not human beings. That's how he was thinking, or I was thinking. And you see, this type of mentality has made white people become so immune in the thinking that they are the, originals. They are the people that came to the United States the first time, that the people who first set their feet in America's soil. But hey, hold on. They were black people. Black people were already there before. Let somebody told you need to know true history. Black folks are already there. So you need to stop telling black Americans to, you can go back to Africa where you came from and everything. No. We have black people that were in Africa. We have black people that left Africa and went to the American soil, and they had the technology to move in the water. They have the water technology. They knew how to use, to sail, to ship, to reach America's land. That's what they did. Black people are naturally adventurous, and in the process of adventuring, they set feet fast before anybody else. Black people are already in the United States. So stop telling black people to go back to Africa, because they brought civilization to the America's land. They're the first people to set foot in the America's land. And you white people, you found them there. You took everything that belonged to them and made it become yours. Until today, you find a white person with that mentality of telling a black person to go back to Africa. They are delusional. They are the big part of the problem. And they need to understand that. If a black person decides to go to Africa, it's because they just want to reconnect with their roots. And nothing to do with being born in Africa or your origin coming from Africa. Everyone's origin came from Africa, even you as a white person. Africa is the cradle home of mankind. Everyone came from there. But black people's IQ was so big, to the extent that they knew how to move from continent to continent. And they set their feet in the United States before you. So you have nothing to tell a black person in regards to their origin or anything that they do or they did. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to let you watch this video. You can laugh. You can get angry. You can see how delusional these people are. But at the end of the day, I hope you learn. And let's come and talk about it a little. Right. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Eugenic Stories. And if you're watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to what I can offer you. And for those always coming back, watching my videos, man, I'm really grateful for all the support that you all gave me. Until then, let's get into it. I'm going to be back.
Native Americans, also referred to as indigenous people, are the original inhabitants of the Americas and have distinct cultures, histories, and traditions that predate European colonization. based on genetic and archaeological evidence. White people are not considered Native Americans in the sense of being indigenous to the Americas. It is crucial to recognize that Native American identity is multifaceted and encompasses cultural practices, language, tribal affiliation, and a deep connection to ancestral lands.
We should not be embarrassed or afraid to say that the Native Americans are white people of European descent. That is true. The people that we call Native Americans now are not Native Americans. And the reason they're not Native Americans is because they did not form a country called America. They are not native. America is a country. It's not just a place. It's not just a plot of land. It is a country. And before America was formed as a nation, this place was not America, because America didn't exist. America existed when it was formed. And so if someone can trace their lineage back to the Comanche on the Great Plains, well, that doesn't make you you weren't native to America. You're native to Comancheria. You're native to this. You're not native to the country of America. The people who are native to the nation of America, the people who formed this nation, were by and large, almost exclusively, white people of European descent. They are the natives of this country. They're the ones who formed this country. That doesn't mean that other people aren't allowed to live here. It just means that they're the natives. And again, anywhere else in the world, there's nothing controversial about pointing that out. And we're the only place where we're not allowed to say that. But I've been on this. I've been preaching this for a while now. I think we need to, and not just as a gimmick. Like, I really believe we should reclaim that.
Oh, Richard. First of all, that's completely wrong. And second of all, you're messing with Jeanette Reyes, which is one of mine. And as a Latina, I'm here to prove her point. So I'm going to give you a history lesson, son. You might want to pull up a chair and grab a pen and pay attention. Right? Because what I'm going to tell you is history and facts. Now I'll start with, did you know that white immigrants started coming into this country between the 18 and 1900s from Europe, from places like Poland, Italy, Germany, Ireland, right? Today, it's people from Slovenia, like Melania Trump, South Africa, like Elon Musk, right? They started coming here. And guess what, Richard? Step in so you can hear me. They were undocumented, and a lot of them overstayed their welcome. And there has never been a law that targeted white immigration. Go look it up. Did you know that the first law was in 1892? And guess who it targeted? I know you don't know. But the law was called the Chinese Exclusion Act. And it was the first immigration law going specifically after one ethnic group. And during that, after they passed that law, they still set quotas for white immigrants to be here while they restricted immigrants from countries like Asia, Africa, and guess what? Latin America, right? And while white immigrants have been here undocumented and still are, you don't see ICE raiding Irish pubs, right? And you don't hear about white immigrants stealing jobs. And you don't see the media painting white immigrants as a threat to society. Okay? Let me make sure I get all my notes. Okay? And while white people came here, or white immigrants came here and faced deportation, there was never a system to persecute them as it has been for the Black, Indigenous, Asian, or Latin communities. Okay? So with that being said, Richard, yes, immigration has always been about race. And race has played a big part on who gets punished for being here illegally and those who do not. But I digress. There goes your history lesson from a Latina.
So I posted my white people are not Native American video a while ago, but I'm still getting comments to this day saying that if a white person was born here, they are Native American. And I just want to remind you that that is not what the man in the Jubilee video was talking about. He was saying that white people are Native Americans. Like, they are from here. We have a claim to this land. And that's not true. And I need you to think about it in terms of, like, an invasive species. Asian lady beetles are not from here. They kill native plants. They kill off, native bugs even too, because they're fighting for resources. Those beetles did not originate from here, and they're harming the ecosystem, which is why they're bad. Ladybugs are from here. So if something did not originate from here, and I can't believe I'm having this conversation, but it's not from here. There's a difference between ethnicity and nationality. Ethnicity, white people are not.
Immigrants overall are good for America.
Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true.
I always think it's funny when individuals come to argue that have weak arguments like that. And it shows either you didn't learn something that you were supposed to about history in middle school or high school, or you didn't learn it if you went to college. And that is that every person who's from the 13 colonies is an immigrant. How and why, you ask? Here's why. Because all of the people that came to establish the 13 colonies came from overseas. They came from Europe, sailed across the ocean, landed, and said, let's settle here, immigrants. When they built homes, that made them settlers. But they didn't stop being immigrants. So all of you that are white, you're immigrants. And it's not just people who are white. There are people who are immigrants that came from other parts of the world. It's called immigration. But Republican leadership wants to lie and falsely say, we're more American than anyone that was here before us. You're stupid. Because being American is what this is. It's the Americas. And it was that before you landed. So that's called hate. That's called racism, ethnocentrism, etc. There's a long list of all kinds of words, and that's great. We're just trying to keep this broad and easy, everybody. So before the immigrants from Europe came and established the 13 colonies, for over 30,000 years, there had been millions of people already here. For instance, look at me, Latino. That means that I have a bloodline of over 30,000 years of people before the Europeans came. So let's continue on to another thought, and that is that Republican leadership and white-only society, meaning white-only communities, are after a white-only society. You have organizations such as the KKK. You have individuals that cover their face and go around with a flag that's a Confederate flag or has the German Hitler symbol on it, and say whites only. And they're all over the United States. So that is a narrow view of history. That's why you see that in our public education system, the Republican leadership trying so hard to push who Americans are. My message right now to everyone in the United States of America and all of the Americas, that if you were already here, you're more American than anyone white that came from across the ocean, that they are immigrants. They are the true immigrants. And there's enough history books, there's enough scholarship, and there's enough behind that.
We are a nation of immigrants. This country was not built by immigrants. This country was built by settlers.
They did not build something from nothing. They butchered everything that was already here and then called it progress. These settlers are genocidal thieves who could not do anything without enslaving another race. Only reason you're even defending settlers so hard right now is because you know your entire existence is inherited theft. This country was not built by settlers. It was bled into existence by people your ancestors enslaved. Y'all did not do anything but enslave. You were born on third base with blood already on your cleat.
Imagine being in a room where someone says that white people are Native Americans and then everyone in that room cheering and clapping.
It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the U.K. You're from India, so I don't really...
I'm not from India.
Oh, you sorry, your parents are from India, so...
I'm an American
citizen. You have your own states.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen? Yes. Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely. Okay. But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that, but okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different.
But you're a descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah, colonialists.
You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
What? That's exactly what happened. On the Jubilee video, one progressive surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives, and I am drained from watching the first 10 minutes of this video. But this clip is so insane that they really believe that white people are like, how do we go anywhere from here? I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's just so insane that their ancestors committed genocide on Native Americans, and now they're claiming to be Native American. Like, bro, help.
Crossing borders is only heroic when white people do it. I hate to break it to you, Settler Dan, but your ancestors, and mine too, were the original illegal aliens. What do you call white people who cross the ocean, show up uninvited to land already inhabited by indigenous people who have lived there for thousands of years, and then destroy their cultures, their languages, their religion, and impose your own? Settlers, or rather, colonizers. And then what do you call people of color who cross the border, work jobs that nobody else wants to work, pay taxes, try to build a life in the so-called land of opportunity? Illegals. Illegal aliens. Criminals. If you're white, it's exploration. You're a pioneer. You're a settler. And if you're not, you're an invader. And for the record, it wasn't the colonizers that built the United States. It was the immigrants that came after them from every corner of the globe. They built the railroads, the roads, the factories, the farms. They built the United States.
It's surprisingly unclear to a lot of people. Immigration law is and always has been about making sure America has enough white folks. A lot of Eastern Europeans who came here in the 90s came over on diversity visas and genius visas. They called them diversity visas, but these were the countries that qualified. Maybe it's me, but ecru and eggshell seem to be the same color. And since I know there's always that one person who does not believe me, I will prove it to you. Tell me when your family came over here, and I will tell you how they got here. I will tell you the benefits they received for being white when they got here. I'm serious. If one person brings me an example of a white person who didn't benefit from whiteness, I will issue a public apology.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, I'm your host and Anti-Generic Stories. You can see for yourself how sometimes people can decide to, just become ignorant and just assume that the world revolves around them, everything revolves around them, and that they are always right about anything they say. But you, as a person who knows the truth, you understand all those lies that have been told to black people and about black people. So many times there's so much harm that lies has done, and we are seeing a group of people who, they're so much delusional in terms of their thinking, in the way that they see things. That's all we can see. But at the same time, we still have hope that they are getting their wake-up call. So people came and talked about, all these things that are going on right now. The truth is, European colonizers are not Native Americans. They have never been the Native Americans. Whites are not Native Americans. Neither did they build this country. That is a delusional lie. They have taught other whites, and it is sad that other people believe in this. White people for the longest time have said others are low level. The truth is, white folks were fleeing from the European cruelty, from their own kind. Running from their own kind, let us think. They were running from their own kind. People need to read the Guardian book and see the lives of the Vikings. What was the European accomplishments in this country? Slavery, disease, smallpox, and death? There was already a nation here. They built a nation. They built a nation, the bodies of their victims, in the land they stole, and proclaimed themselves to be native to this land. The self-imposed ignorance is astounding, really, really astounding. They befriended the Indians. Once the Indians showed them how to grow corn, they healed them whole. Corn helped them survive through the winters without meat from hunting. Think of all the things made from the corn. The natives were invited to a great feast, and it was called Thanksgiving. Thanks for giving me your land. You better learn history. If this is argument, then black people are native to America because their blood, sweat, and tears built America. They are no more American as those other ones are not Africans. They are Europeans. The trick appears to be taking some people's side and filling their heads with whatever you want to say. They can't tell a difference. If ever coming face to face with the facts such that one then requires alternative facts to maintain psychological stability and ability to function. Whoever has done this is not your friend, but intend to appear as your best friend. Let us think. The American people need to realize that the whites have lied so long that they actually believe those lies. But that doesn't make it true. This is why they didn't want blacks to learn and to read. They can't erase this country's horrible history, but world knows what happened here. The truth is out there. Everyone knows what really happened. Right. Somebody also said that there is nothing more powerful than the truth. They can argue till they are blue in face, but they're not Native American descendants of Europe that settled in America. Not native. Keep saying the truth. It's more powerful. Right. So this is what happens when people whose wealth is built on history of lying, stealing, and enslaving other staff, suffocating from their fear. Their era is ended. They are right afraid. Relevance is an awful fate to behold. I mean, let me know what you all think about this. I just want to know your opinion in regards to this, right? So please let me know what you think about this.